Welcome everyone, it's Nicolette from the End of Life Care, and today in our Ask the Expert series we have Sana Turnock here with us, and she's a clinical aromatherapist who has done a lot of work in the palliative care realm. So she's going to explain to us a little bit about her work and what she does. So welcome, Sana.
Thank you, Nicolette.
Maybe you could just start by introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about how you work and what your work involves.
Sure, okay. Look, I've been a clinical aromatherapist for a long time, actually, since about 1998, so almost 20 years. And what I did was from about the 2000 till 2015, so again, a long period of time, I started to work in aged care. And I was consulting on site across a number of sites in the Perth metro area. And whilst I was doing that, my role moved from setting up aromatherapy programs to then moving into palliative care as well. And so I use essential oils to assist with palliative care, also bush flower essences with end-of-life care. And the context in which I use it is to help people with better breathing. Okay, so when they're at the actual last stages of life, and some people struggle with breath, so there are essential oils that help with that. There's also essential oils and flower essences that help with transition and letting go of fear, okay, and anger, just like releasing, and importantly, it's not just for the person at that stage, it's also for the family or the loved ones who are really struggling, who feel inadequate in that environment because they simply don't know what to do. So that's how my oils help. The bush flower essences help, and that's what my work was involved in, and I would make up blends. When I was there working on site, I'd be massaging them, putting on the vaporizer with appropriate essential oils. And when I wasn't there, I'd be leaving instructions for staff to work on doing this, and also the family if they chose to do this. So it's a pretty multifaceted approach. I felt such a privilege being able to do this. I really loved it, and also I wanted to give to the families as well, because just of how they felt. It was clearly a difficult time in most cases, and some people just didn't know what to do. So to set that up as best I could, it was like something that I was able to leave behind for people to follow up. So I hope I've answered that question.
Yes, no, that was great. And I guess, what benefits did you see, like particularly for the person dying, obviously, but also for the family? Did you, what sorts of things did you witness from using the oils and that? What sort of difference did it make from your?
I think, yeah, sure. Look, I think what I noticed when I was there was calming and settling.
Yeah.
Just a quietening of the breath, so that I would, the rattle had dissipated.
Yeah.
And there was a sense of peace, also just clearing the environment, just of any odour, so act as a deodorizer. So that was very important. Can I actually share with you a story about this? So, okay. All right, so this is a personal story, and a few years ago I had my cousin Liz, who passed away at the age of 39, and she had an advanced stomach cancer. She found it in January, and then by September she'd gone, and she left behind 2 very young kids and a family and the like. Now she had gone through an extremely difficult time of transition, and she was in fact at a point where she wanted to take her life, so it was extremely challenging, and I felt incredibly inadequate because she lived in Perth, I lived in the southwest. She also wasn't wanting to see visitors, clearly, and she only limited herself in seeing pretty much immediate family. So I asked whether she would be open to essential oils being made. She said yes, and so to cut a bit of a long story short, I thought, okay, I managed to get the essential oil. So what I made a blend for someone to massage her or anoint her body with. I made an essential oil concentrate where you were able to put that in a vaporizer, and that would help with sleep and calm. And I made a spray which would help deodorize the space. Now, thankfully, because you're dealing here with the post, you know, my auntie received the package. She basically, we had 3 days with Liz, yeah. So my auntie was able to anoint Liz from head to toe, just lather her with this oil. And because at this stage, Liz knew she was dying, and she pulled out any kind of tubing. This was Liz's decision to do this, and because she'd had enough. And so my auntie was just anointing her from head to foot. Over a bruise, she had many, many bruises all over her. And then Liz fell asleep. And when Liz awoke, she said, "Mum, that was the first sleep I'd have had since knowing this, that was peaceful."
Wow.
And relaxed and calming. And from the conversations that I had with Liz's mum, I found out that she was more at peace. She came to terms with things that were happening to her, and she actually died on the shoulder of her father-in-law, actually in the shower. I was told that she was wanting her essential oils, her massage blend, before she passed.
Yeah.
But she died just before they arrived, as in her husband was going to get them, and she died before they arrived in the bathroom. But I was also told that she died very peacefully. Now, this to me clearly made me feel a whole lot better. It gave me the total understanding that essential oils have such a power, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, considering how I knew and what I knew about Liz and what she was going through. So this prompted me to move forward, and then over some time, this is like over a period of 2 years, moving to the area of making essential oil blends in candles, actually. So this now moves into the realm of candle making and creating the compassion range, and which is purely for people in palliative care, and there are 4 of those in the range: spirit, transition into the light, and release. And they all have different essential oils for those particular reasons. And also a candle called Shining Star. And Shining Star is a mental health candle related to people at end of life, but also families and anyone who's going through a really difficult time. So through Liz, so through her suffering and the grieving that I went through for her, and I still think about it every day, this is what happened, you know. So yeah, it was really powerful. And you know, how can you be so grateful from someone who's passed away that I've been given this gift to be able to share with people? So it's taken that, but I'm hoping, you know, community will embrace it as they see the power of it as well.
Yeah. So she was your shining light in a way.
Look, she was, yeah.
Light for you to create these beautiful products. So yeah, can you tell us just so you've just spoken about the candles, so it's a new range that you've developed and you've just launched. So can you tell us just a little bit more about that and other products you might be creating around that?
Okay, so with the products, the candles, okay, I'm not a candle maker. I certainly actually had no interest in candles, sorry, until Liz's passing, and until I actually met a candle maker here in Busselton, where I live. And she was creating a wellbeing range and doing this kind of stuff. And I used to visit her for professional reasons, and I'd see her busily making her candles, and they were all on the kitchen bench, and that was her workshop space. And she said to me, "What about making candles?" I said, "No, I'm not interested." But she'd planted a seed.
Yeah.
You know, because she was also working on a grief candle, and I said, "Hey, you know what? I've actually got these formulas that are just sitting in my formula book, waiting for something to happen, you know." And through that planting of that seed and Liz's passing, things moved forward, you know. So it took us about 8 or 9 months to create prototypes and, you know, get it to where we were happy with it.
Yeah.
And when you smell the candles, they are gentle, and there's a reason for that. Okay, we didn't want to make strong aromatic essential oil based candles for the palliative care range, or for Shining Star. Having said that, it doesn't matter, because even though you think you can't smell something, it actually still is doing something in the brain. Okay, so it's like, I guess I equate it to the air that we breathe. We can't smell the air that we breathe, but it's still keeping us alive, right? So with essential oils, just because you can't, I mean, some people tell me, yes, they can smell it and it's quite strong. Other people would say that they're not able to smell it. So everyone has a different strength, I guess, in their olfactory system as to how much they smell, how strong their sense of smell is. But just to explain this, I did my master's project in how essential oils influence the brain, okay, and particular parts of the brain. And I took what I learned from that and just basically moved it into the area of palliative care and death and dying, because it's the same principle. You inhale essential oils, goes up through the nose, enters through what's called the cribriform plate into the brain, hits particular areas of the brain called the uncus and the amygdala, which affects memory and emotions, influences memory, and it lays down neural pathways. Now, in the context of palliative care and end of life, you're wanting to invoke emotions that are for peace and calm and tranquility, releasing of fear. Okay, so the essential oils that I selected were aimed at doing those things. So the candle acts as the vehicle. It acts as a safe vehicle in getting that out there in the public space. But if you don't want to choose candles, I can clearly use the same essential oil formula in an essential oil concentrate, meaning you put drops in a vaporizer and have it just, basically vaporize in the room, or I can turn it into a massage blend. Alternatively, I can actually create someone's own aromatic blend, something that they loved, some oils or aromas that they loved, so to massage that into their body, to take them to their special place. That is another way in which you can approach that. So the beauty about essential oils is that there's a variety of ways in which we can help people have a joyful, a peaceful passing, and the families to feel comfortable in that as well.
Fantastic. I know lots of people use different oils, but I love that idea of having your own blend. I mean, there's so many different smells, not so many, there are particular smells that I know would comfort me, that other smells would really just turn me off.
Exactly. That's really important.
I wouldn't want around. There's different ones.
Absolutely. And and the more information I get, right, from family members, for example, someone who knows that person really well, that will assist me in creating the appropriate blend for that person. So
tune in and work it out.
Absolutely, because that's really important, because when you're making something individually, that is the focus. So it's like, when people have a signature perfume, with aromatics, well, you're getting a signature perfume, but it's an end of life one, I think, which will help with that transition process.
Oh, it's great. I love it. And so with the candle range at the moment, people contact you if they want to purchase the candles, or if they want you to make a blend. How can they contact you and make that happen?
Sure. Look, because we're dealing with palliative care, okay, it's always a priority for me in terms of clearly putting things in the post, because I live in Busselton, so you've got to allow for, postal time, especially if it's going outside of, a 50-kilometre range outside of where someone can come and collect it. So a phone number, my mobile phone is easy. That's 041 9041 783. They can send me an email address at joyfulliving@westnet.com.au. I'm also just in the throes of setting up a new Facebook page. It would be called Joyful Living with Sana Turnock. That's what to look for. And my website, which I'm hoping will be done by mid-May, will be sanaturnock.com. So pretty easy. If you get stuck at all of those, just Google Sana Turnock and I'm sure you'll find something.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll also put, the information in the links in the video as well, so people can, so even if we've got your Facebook page, that's good stuff. People,
sure.
Most people try and track other people down.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. It's great to hear about the benefits of aromatherapy and, those sorts of things. Was there any other practices that you use that you might want to talk about briefly before we finish up?
Sure. Thanks, Nicolette. And something has come to mind. That's simply meditation. And that is such a powerful tool. I actually just finished a 4-week program with people last night down in Southwest in Busselton. I did a 4-week meditation program for people. And I say to them, so initially we start off doing 10 minutes and we'll have a break and chat, do 10 minutes a lot. And I said to them, by week 4, you're going to be able to do at least 50 minutes. And no one believed me. But by the end of it, they did it. I was really surprised. But look, there are a number of techniques in which I can assist people. Again, I think this would be people who, I guess, are at the terminal stage, where there's still time. And also for the caregivers, as well as volunteers who work in palliative care and hospitals, hospices, and the like, and other people who are caregivers, and they are in that environment constantly. So they really need to take care of their mental health. So that's my focus with meditation. I actually have one coming up in Buoying Up in May. Sorry, no, June. And back in July, I'll be back in Busselton. But look, my interest in this is if there are organisations who are wanting in the Southwest who want me to come and work with them in that way, I think we can have a chat, because it's so important. And because my aim is initially, if they can do face-to-face with someone who is trained in aspects, then if you're interested, you can move forward into the audio aspects, or you can't physically make it, you access something online. But if you have a proper foundation of how to meditate and be given good, clear, practical instruction, it makes more sense to you when you are sitting or whenever you are meditating. So that's why I prefer face-to-face initially. Having said that, I am also going to organise an audio on my website for those people who simply aren't able to do that and they live far away. So that will happen, and again, that'll probably happen, I'd say, sometime in May. So that's a work in progress, but one that I really want to get started very quickly. Just simply, my interest is to really try and make people, I guess my goal and my role is calm, joy, peace. May sound cliched, but I think that's a role that I have to play, in this life.
And meditation, I know with families that I work with, just, for caregivers to be able to, even for 5 or 10 minutes, take some space and just have quiet, calm, and have some practices that they can rely on. It makes a huge difference to their day, just to have that little bit of space for themselves.
Absolutely.
That intensity of the caring, it's another important tool that it's really worth getting some practice around. And I think for anyone really, having a bit of meditation, is great. Or mindfulness, that's the new term. Term, or the new focus on it. It's fantastic just to, we're so bombarded with stress and information with the internet and technology. Just to have that space and calm can just change your whole day, really.
Absolutely. And that's my reason for, I'm hesitant to go down that road of offering an audio on technology. It's just to give people that break, but that's where a lot of people are going. Like when I do the face-to-face ones, people are so happy to be away from technology. That's their downtime, and they really treasure it. But look, it's up to the individual at the end of the day. So,
and I guess it's that circumstance thing. That's where technology is a positive, is that
absolutely
they can access it if they physically can't get to a class. But I I'm all for classes and I mean, and it's a social time out too because you're with other people and
it is
connection with the real world.
That's right. And look, I had a lovely group of people, this particular month. So, and they, really connected well. So I think there's that added joy of that as well. Yeah. So you're right. Connection. We need to keep it going.
On all levels, not just in the realm of
that's right
as well. So.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for sharing what you do and all your loves and passions with us today. It's been really great to get an insight into what you do and the benefits of what you offer. So thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, Nicoline. I just want to do a shout out to you because I think what you're doing is absolutely awesome as well. So thank you so much for being a shining light.
Yes, us shining lights. We've all got to keep shining.
We do, don't we? All right.
Nice to talk to you.
You too. See you.